Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know who Scooter Khan is? Excuse me, sir. Who do zombies fear the most? Hey, buddy. Who rolls on Scooter Khan's crew? Hey there, big guy. What kind of game does Scooter Khan play? Good morning, soldiers of the zombie apocalypse. This is Scooter Khan here, starting my second Let's Play on 7 Days to Die Alpha 16. There are no mods, no messing with anything, no big packs, no nothing. It's just kind of the way I roll. I want to start out by going through a few things so I don't forget. Basically, I've been gaming for many, many years, probably more years than most of you guys have been alive, guys and girls, whoever have been alive. I don't game a bunch of games, but I usually play one for, I'm one of these people, I get addicted to it and I will play it. But I generally don't play more than one, and 7 Days to Die is that game for me right now. I've been playing games, computer games, console games, since I think the first game I played when only the rich guys had it was Pong, so that gives you an idea. But anyways, I've got a 7-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter, and they kind of got me into the whole YouTube stuff, watching little things they were watching, and over time I learned that I kind of didn't like them watching YouTube, the games on YouTube, because the language and so a lot of things would seem very innocent at start, and then they would drop an F-bomb here or whatever. And there's some of my favorite Let's Players that I tend to watch. My son got me a little bit used to watching some, so I've watched some on my own. And they do the same thing. They tend to drop some words that I don't want younger kids to learn. So I decided one day I want to go ahead and try, because I was playing the console 7 Days to Die, and it was a lot of fun, and I would just do it every now and then. And I just decided, well, you know what? I'm going to go on the computer, download the game, and try that. And then I did that, and that was at Alpha 16, this alpha, and I started watching more of the YouTube stuff, and decided I eventually wanted to go ahead and try some Let's Plays. Now, I've done a couple of Let's Play seasons, you might say, but they were all basically just kind of working my way through some of the basics and learning some things and trying to figure out how I really want to do a season. So this is really going to be my first legit season, even though if you look on my YouTube channel, there's probably a bunch of videos from earlier. So don't look at the earlier videos and think that's a representation of what I want to be producing. And even this one, I think as time goes on, I'm going to grow more and more. But one of the hallmarks of my Let's Plays, I think, will be I will make it as friendly as possible for the ears and the eyes of little ones. And I'm not saying that my 6 and 7-year-old sit and watch this game endlessly. Frankly, my 6-year-old won't watch it very much at all, because it's zombies and she's a little girl. So she'll walk in every now and then when I'm doing it, and she'll just make a comment about the zombies and then go and leave. And my son, he watches it every now and then as well, but very little. So anyways, this is my first real season. I'm going to try to do some optics in it, some good stuff on the video end, even though I'm still basically not investing any money in video material or anything at this point. I just want to kind of get it rolling. For quite a while I shot video for a professional hockey team, so I'm kind of used to the clipping and the putting video together and highlights and things like that. But that was a paid job. It was a part-time paid job, but it was a paid job. This is a fun job, so there's a difference. I might not have time to do all the details I want to do, but have some patience. Watch some of the episodes and leave comments, leave likes, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully I can get a foothold, get going, and just put out more videos and gradually add to the library of the videos that I have out. I eventually may move on to different games, other games, I don't know. But right now I just play this for fun. So this is what I'm going to concentrate on. And for the time being, it's Alpha 16 and it's vanilla. I may add more, as I said. I may add some of the mods or whatever, but I don't really know. I don't know. If you download 7 Days to Die, this is what you get. You get this game that I'm playing here. You get the options that I'm playing here. That's it. You won't see anything in this setup that you won't be downloading and hopping on to play. So I hope that this is going to be the one for you. Okay, I'm going with all the basic options. Okay, standard options. There's 2 menus, and I don't really know why they got 2, but that's not important. Okay, well, let's start here. Game mode, survival, single player. Okay, that's what I'm going to go. They also have a multiplayer in this game, but I've never really played multiplayer. It looks like it would be a rather difficult job to play multiplayer because this is a very, very long game. So it would be kind of hard to mesh times with different people. I don't know how that's done. I know a lot of the Let's Players do it on their own servers and whatnot, so I don't really know the difference and all that. Okay, random gen is just a randomly generated map, or a NAVS game, which is a pre-set-up map, and it's set up very well. So if you want to do the NAVS gen, might be a thing to do. I always do random gen, just because I kind of like things, new. Okay, the name of this map is going to be called It's a Mad, Mad World. The options these are basically my standard starting options. Warrior difficulty. Now, if you're just playing for the first time, don't be ashamed to go adventurer or even scavenger or nomad just to get your feet wet. I've been playing a while. Warrior is really not a huge bit deal for me for the most part. Day length, 18 hours. That's basically how long is the day. The longer the day, the shorter the nights, and vice versa. If you want the longer nights with the zombies running, then you go to the shorter days. I tend to go at 18 just because I run multiple hordes when it's horde night, and I'll go into that in a minute. Zombies run default. Default is they walk during the day and they run after 2200, which is what I got it set up for, and they will run until 4 o'clock in the morning. So from 2200 and 4 o'clock in the morning, they will run. They are more dangerous. They are more powerful. They hurt you more, and they have more hit points. So when 2200 comes on my map, this map, or whatever map you got set up for the day, when it hits night, you need to take precautions. Be in a house. Be somewhere safe. Persistent profiles, don't really know what that means. I think it means you just stick with that one profile, and if you drop another one in, you got to restart. 24-hour cycle. You can go anywhere from 10 minutes, which is ridiculous, to 120 minutes. A lot of the Let's Players, they'll start on 90 and go to 60, or just go straight to 60. I'm going to 120. I love 120, and as the game goes on, I will explain why I love 120. Block durability is just how strong the blocks are. Whatever you make, it's at 100% strength or less. Loot abundance is just 100% is basically your standard. You can set it up higher or lower. Loot abundance, I'm not 100% sure that matters, because loot is an important part of this game, but it's probably number 6 or 7 on the importance scale. There's going to be a lot of people who argue with me on that, but there's a certain point in this game you just don't even loot anymore. Loot respawn time, 30 days. That's basically default. I really am never going to hit the same loot spot twice, because by the time I get back after 30 days, I usually don't need what's in the little loot areas. Okay, drop on death, everything. Once you die, you come back to life at your bed in this game. Now, you can either delete it all, which means it's all gone for good, or drop on death. You just drop it and you have to go pick it back up. Or you can just drop your tool belt, or you can just drop your backpack. Pretty much everybody does everything. Again, that may be one of those things. Starting off, you may want to put, backpack only. That way it leaves you your weapons in your tool belt. But as you learn, you can set that on different things. Blood moon count is how many enemies are on the board during the blood moon. The blood moon is every 7 days from the start of night till the morning. It's called a blood moon. Now the blood moon doesn't last all night generally, and I will go into that as the let's play goes on. But basically, you will get a horde. A horde is the size of that horde is really based on, or the length of that horde will be based on your level. These numbers right here reflect how many enemies will be on the board at any certain time. I used 24, maybe 16. Going up higher, you can go up to 64, but there's so much lag at those levels that it's not even worth it. Matter of fact, 24, there's so much lag, it's very hard at times. I may cut that back to 16. And if you do, the more on the board at one time, the shorter the horde is. So if you cut it back to, let's say, 16, the horde's going to last longer because it takes longer to cycle out all them 16 groups. So ultimately, the number of kills would be the same. It's just how many more. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and start off with 16. Enemies spawning on, that's just basic. The enemies will spawn. Airdrops every whatever days, 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days, you'll get an airdrop. Airdrop has some supplies in it, usually like medical, a few other little things, maybe parts of the guns or books or something, and we'll go into that as the game goes on. Cheat mode off, mark airdrops on. That just means when you get in the general area of the airdrop, it'll toggle up on your heads-up mat. So basically, these are pretty much my standard options. Different Let's Players will do them differently, but they're all basically the same. The only thing that I generally do different is the 120 minutes. I love the long days because I love to get building done and stuff. This game it's a zombie apocalypse building survival game, but it's very, very much more interesting on the building side than the zombie and survivor side. You have a lot of time building, or excuse me, also there's crafting. You can craft as well, which is really part of the building aspect. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start it up. I'm going to go off video when I start it up because it takes a long time to generate the map. So I will come on when I get the map made. Okay, here I am. Dear friend, the wasteland can be an unforgiving place and you look like you could use some help. Enclosed is a short guide to help you survive. If you complete it, we just might take in a new citizen. The White River Settlement. It's real and it's safe. Good luck, Noah. So basically, I don't know what the White River Settlement is. I've never actually tried to go to that, so I don't know if that's just kind of jargon just to give you something to look at. Okay, so you hit continue. Okay, your basic survival is your active quest. The quest status is displayed on the objective tracker in the top right of the screen. For more information on quest, access your inventory and navigate the quest menu. Alright, looks like we got a big city there in the background, which is awesome to start out in a big city. Okay, okay, basically what I want to do is I want to go ahead and pause the game for a second. I want to save this part right here, and I will come right back on in this spot. So hang on. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you notice in your upper right, that's your mission menu. You go to your menu. There's different things you can go through. This is your crafting menu, which you can't really do much with now, but it just shows you what all the things to make. It'll show you the ingredients you need for it. As you have them in your inventory, they will light up. And there's different groups: building, resources, ammo, tools, food, cooking, science, clothing, and miscellaneous decor. Okay, I'll go over all that later a little more. We don't got anything we can do right now anyways. Character, this is your basic character stuff. The top, let's say 5 other important ones: wellness, food, water, feels like is the temperature. That will be important in the first few weeks for sure. because you overheat easy and you get cold easy. Zombie kills, everything from here down is more of just a statistic. Map, pretty self-explanatory, shows you the map. Again, something I'll show you a little more detail on later. These are your skill. This is your skill tree. It will show you what all you can basically specialize in. As the game goes on, you'll get all these filled out. If it's got a number less than 100, like 10 or 5, that means you add to it, or you can add to all of them. But these with the 100, it's generally they will fill up by themselves. Experience will fill those up, so you don't necessarily need to put them into like barter, blade weapons, anything. The more you use those skills, the more you'll get. See, this is your mission tree. This is what we're kind of concerned with right now. It gives you 8 small missions to start the game, and they're just build certain things in. We will go over that in a minute. This is your journal. Hardly ever look in this thing. Probably should look in it more. Basically, these are little things that'll give you points if you accomplish them. And we're not doing multiplayer, so we don't need to do anything on here. Alright, so the first thing we can do is collect resources. The only way you can collect resources at this point is punch. Punching is the R1 on the PlayStation 4 controller. I'm not sure what it is on the mouse. That's going to be button 1 or button 2, whatever. Okay, then you see in the upper right, once it turns green, that means you got the material to do what you need to do. So you go ahead and craft it. And while it's building, go ahead and keep collecting resources, because you're going to need a bunch of resources to go through your first 8 little missions. You're going to need feathers and stone. Right there's a stone. You can also get the stone by beating on a rock, which is kind of a. Now I want to place my bedroll. Come on, that's a bad hitbox right there. Happens every now and then. Okay, place your also take all this stuff that you're not immediately going to use out of your tool belt. You can put that in there. Okay, that'll do that. Now you can, if you pick up your sleeping bag, you will spawn on a totally different area of the map if you die. So it's kind of a good idea to just go ahead and leave it there if it's somewhere that's a decent area. So I'm just going to leave it there. You can pick it up too, and you'll just spawn in a totally different area. But I like the fact that we got this big city near, so I'm kind of okay with respawning back here. Okay, gather wood. I got 2 wood already. I got the wood, by the way, I think for the little trees. Either that or maybe okay, gather small stone. You can hit the block to get small stone, which is kind of an okay method, but it's easier to pick them up as you're collecting the other stuff. The things you need to collect right now are going to be the plant fibers and the wood and the stone. Okay, now you put your axe here, and this will help you collect more stone. Okay, so I've got everything to do. My next mission is you can go to click on your clothing, and it's going to be plant fiber gloves, plant fiber hood, plant fiber pants, plant fiber shirt, and plant fiber shoes. Okay, go ahead and you can put them on. You're probably going to end up taking them off when you overheat. So it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter a whole lot. Why aren't you looking over? Pants, hello. As you get experience, you're just gonna continue moving around and collecting stuff while you're doing this. By the way, I'm kind of hanging a little bit longer in the menus than I normally would. Okay, if you go to your character, you can see yourself wearing all the stuff. For some reason I made 2 hoods. Scrap that one. I'm probably going to take all the other stuff off as well. If you get your axe, you can get stuff in the trees. Okay, craft my wooden club. Wooden club. Craft. Go ahead and put your wooden club in. What I do is I usually put my melee weapon here, and I will put my bow and arrow on the other slot. Oops. And go ahead and while I'm at this tree, collect me a little more wood, because you're going to need wood for to make a lot of arrows and a lot of wood frames. It's always good practice too to kind of move around like this when you're doing these things that take a while, so you can see if anything's going to come up and bite you. Okay, wooden bow, craft. Okay, I need to find arrow. Okay, and the bird's nest is where you find the arrows, and arrow ammo. Okay, I need to get more rock. You can never have enough arrows too, so in the first part of this game you're doing a lot of collecting of feathers. And take your bow, put it in your tool belt, and on the if you go to your bow, you have to load your arrows. It'll load whatever kind of arrows that you can use. So my arrows are just ready to use now, so all I got to do is go to the bow, and it's already knocked. So there you go, you're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and collect a little more wood or stone while I'm here. You see the different materials on the right lower hand. The reddish one is iron, the regular looking gray one is stone, the black is coal. So you're going to use all those throughout the course of the game. This early in the game, the only thing you really need is the rock, and there's lead, the like crossed thing, and that's nitrate, the white powder. These boulders on the top of the ground, these small ones, you get all kinds of stuff in it. It's a pretty good resource. Early in the game, there's times where you'll go out beating boulders just to get the different resources. Okay. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a new one, because I will lose quality. I'll lose quality if I'll show you. If I make this one, let's say I repair it, it's going to be of a lower quality. See, it'll be 24. So at this stage of the game, I generally just prefer making them again and then scrapping the old one. You're going to come out. I don't really need all this other stuff. You can hold on to it. Well, actually, this you can burn. The coal you can burn. The nitrate and all that, I'm really not going to be using it right now. So I'm just going to dump it out, and that's just kind of an experience teaching me. It's taught me that. Okay, I need to make wood frames now. Wood frames are going to be something you're going to use throughout the entire game, from no matter if you're level 1 or 100. So go through and favorite them, and all I need is 3. Well, what's the most I can make? 51. I don't need to make 51. I want to make a good bit of them though. There's another thing that I usually make a lot of early, and that's the spikes there. Okay. Now, what I got to do is I got to upgrade the frames. Uh, to upgrade, you do the left R1, the left trigger, L1, on the PlayStation 4 controller. Again, I don't know what it is on the keyboard or the mouse pad, or the mouse. It's probably like the left button, but you have to figure that out. Campfire is my next mission. Make a campfire. These first little missions are kind of you just get them over with. Okay, you've earned skill points. Spend them by accessing your inventory and navigating to the skills menu. Then highlight the desired skill or perk and purchase it. Okay, basically at this point you have earned 5 skill points. So you can spend them how you want. This early in the game I usually hold off on spending any skill points. The reason why I do, because I want to see the territory I'm in. If I'm in an area that is going to give me lots of water and I get a cooking pot early, I don't worry so much about stuff like the camel. That's one that helps you with water. The survivor, that's one with food. So I kind of wait a little bit before I spend any of my skill points. See, it's not going to make a big difference this early in the game. So, okay. Now, I got to locate my trader. Basically, go to your map and look on here. This is the trader right here. Ooh, this is kind of crazy too. This trader is near the city. A trader near a city is, what is it? Oh, there he is right there. I want to go ahead and make me another bedroll too, because I'm not going to want to keep mine there, but also what I want to do is I want to look for feathers. The first day, you don't have problems with a lot of the zombies. You can stay away from them fairly easy. You don't have problems with the weather that much, the heat and whatnot. So it gives you a little bit of latitude to start. So kind of utilize that. And the more you stay in your area, the safer you are. The only problem with that is it's almost impossible to stay in your area because you got to go to the trader. And also you want to start looking for a good place to kind of at least hunker down for the first horde night. It's always a good idea to kind of get that taken care of as quick as possible. If you notice on the left bottom, there is a blue line, which is your energy or stamina, and the red is your health. This early in the game, stamina is a huge issue. You want to always have a little bit in case you need to run from a zombie or fight a zombie or whatever. Okay. Generally, your first visit to the trader is just kind of you're finding out where he's at, and you're going to go through his stuff and see if there's anything in there that you want later on, and take a look. Okay, trader. The first thing you do, this is the most basic of traders here. He's got his chem station, which is usable. That's great. So you do got a usable chemistry station. You probably won't be using much on the chem station for a while. You got some blueberries, and this is probably the best time to pick them. Sometimes they got corn, and you can't plant back here, so at least I don't think you can. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to go looking through here for anything you can loot. Generally, it's a low-level looting. You're not going to get a whole lot. You can't break anything down. You can only open some stuff up. Uh, some of the trader stations have a pretty extensive like kitchen and stuff, and those are the really good ones because a lot of times you can find the cooking pot in there. The cooking pot is probably the game's first must-have thing, so you're kind of keeping an eye out for that. And we got a working workbench, and that's great. That duster will sell real well, real good. These little electronic workstations later in the game, not at the trader, but if you see them out in the real world, you can take them apart and they'll give you mechanical parts and things like that. You cannot stay in the trader after I think it's 2,000 hours or whatever it is, so you can't spend your horde night at the trader station. Zombies can't get into the trader station unless you leave the door open. So always shut the door behind you when you come into the trader. You should be fine. Okay, what else is there? Right here is the forge in this certain trader station, and it's in working condition. So all the stuff in this trader is in working condition. It would actually be a very wise strategy to just stay near this trader because he has everything you need. Oh, let's see, this is the cement mixer. It's destroyed, so okay, you can't make cement, but that's okay. That's 1 out of or 3 out of 4 is good. Okay, this guy's got a potty mouth, so I can't really do much about him.
Yeah, what do you want?
That was pretty tame. Okay, only thing I can do at this point is look through here. I can't buy anything because I can't afford anything. So you just look through and see if there's any on the first run of the trader. What you're really looking for is you're looking to see what books you can get. If you go in the first time and you see the mini bike book, you got it made, and it does happen every now and then. What you're going to want to do if there's something you want is you're going to want to go loot as much as you can to earn money before this restock date comes, because at restock date everything at the, if you can't see my pointer, it's up at the top left where it says secret stash. Restock day is day 4. It's every 3 days you got a restock day, so every 3 days this inventory is going to turn over. Not really anything I can afford in here, and there's not any really big items. This mining helmet I'm going to need soon. That's one of my quick things, and the cooking pot. Let me use the keyboard to search for the cooking pot, which I don't think. Yep, don't have. What you can do though is if you can come up with enough iron, which I threw my iron out. You can make a cooking pot. So
You're getting on my nerves, friend.
we go in the forge. You make the cooking pot. So let's see what all you need. Cooking pot. You need 25 iron and 5 clay. Cool. I can easily get that actually. Short iron pipe. Iron arrowhead. Let me put the clay in here. Oh. Yeah, put the clay in here. Let me put some of these in here. Okay, that went quick. Okay, I'm gonna have to find me some more iron. What I can do though, is go to the surface boulders. I can find my way out of here. Now, heat attracts the zombies, by the way, so these zombies in this game got like this really weird ability to be attracted to heat. So whenever you start something up, you're going to see more zombies. What I'll do is I'll get me some iron out of here, some raw iron. I have to handle this guy. Come on, go down. Whoa, that was pretty crazy. One thing I want to do is I want to make me one of the first zombies, make you a bone shiv. What you want to do is you want to get the bone off of them. Later in the game, picking up these corpses is going to be a pretty... Okay, go in here. Recipes, bone shiv. This will help you get more meat when you're cleaning a deer or hog or whatever. Okay, I want to get... I'm not sure how much iron. I'm just going to destroy this whole boulder, I guess. I want to... I'm going to make me 2 more. Another strategy that I think I'm going to do, being I got a forge near that works, is build a wooden box, storage box, and keep it near the trader. And you can drop various things in there that you might not want to carry around, like let's say clay or raw iron or whatever. Although I'll probably just forge all the raw iron I can get. But you can't put your box inside. Okay, how much do I got? 21. I think that should be enough. Split it in half. Put it in there. All the clay burned in there. You can take this other stuff, all the brass and things like that, and go ahead. And I don't know if I'm going to put it in there. Actually, I'll probably put it out in a box outside, or maybe just put it in here. You can store it in here too. Okay, craft. Cooking. Oh, I need an anvil. Okay, let's see. That's right, an anvil. Anvil's like a lot. I think it's 200 iron. $220. Okay, I'm gonna go get more. It's just worth it while I'm here. And it's 12. Oop. Rarely will I do something like this, but rarely do you get all these working things in one trader, so usually I just depend on finding the... cooking pot, but sometimes it can take 3-4 days to find one. Unless you just really want to go all out looting and looting the right places. If you get lucky, the first trader will have one in his kitchen. But this kitchen doesn't, this trader doesn't even have a kitchen, so. Let's take you, put you. I also want to go to this, secure wooden chest, craft. You get the skill for doing this, for breaking the boulders up. Usually I use the shovel though. The shovel is a bit slower, but it increases your mining skill, and the axe does your construction skill. Your mining skill is far more important, so even though you're progressing slower, or as far as collecting material, you're progressing faster as far as skills go. So what do we got here? What do we got? Where are we? 21. That's it? Wow, that was pretty lame. I didn't only get 21. I got like 70 in that last boulder. The bigger boulders you don't get as much for, so don't bother with them when you're just looking for lead and iron and all that other stuff. I hear a zombie somewhere. A little bit of a lag there. Ah, crawler. That one's usually not crawling. Come on, give me an anvil. Out of arrows. Oh, come on. The crawlers will break your legs too, so you gotta be careful. Cool, food. Food is definitely a plus. Again, I want to make a couple extra axes, because I will be going through them. And I will scrap that one. Now, the first thing I always concentrate on is finding the cooking pot. And obviously, if you find anything better, that's just icing on the cake. But like the mini bike or the auger, that's just fantastic. If you can find the mini bike quick, and I've found it quick in a few games, but for the most part, it takes a while. See, my stamina is down. That's why I'm collecting so little. But I've got a 41. Oh my god. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and dump that in there and let it start going. And then I'll come back out and do some more. That's ridiculously slow. Also, I want to take my box, stick my box as close as I can stick it. Come on, go on the ground. There you go. And that will just be storage for things that I okay, what do I got? I got 124, 29, 30, 40, 34. I think it'll make it. Come on, come on, come on. 59. I think it is it going 1 for 1? Yeah, whatever. I'm going to go grab more. I'll be close, but... Yeah, that's right, because I need a certain amount for the... ooh, feathers. A certain amount for the actual cooking pot, too, so... Glad you go through these axes quick. The more you upgrade your tools, the better your yield is on them, so you will collect more material. An example, a 50 axe would collect more material than a 25 axe, and it goes up to 600. 600 is the max you can do, and I believe you can only build 500, and then from 500 you have to compact them into one. What you do is you take two 500s and you make it into like a 550, and then you add another 500 and it makes it 600. You can do that at the workbench. Here's something. Yeah, my stamina is just an issue this early in the game. I really hate putting stuff into my stamina, but you almost have to. There are certain things like coffee that will help your 325. Okay, sweet. And then cooking pot. What do I need? What do I need? Why can't I make that? Oh, I need to put the thing in. That's right. Durr. Okay, I could probably go sell this. Well, you know what? I may actually need that. I'm going to hold on to that. Come on, hurry up. Let me go collect some stuff while I'm waiting. And let's see. You want to stay just far enough away so you can't. Okay. Gonna get me some. If you chop this tree down, you get coal, which I don't really think is a big deal at this stage, but I'm going to go ahead and chop it down just because it's the bigger tree. The trees that look burnt up are the ones that give you coal. These twisted, crazy looking ones. Okay, it's 13:57. At 2200 is when the zombies start to run. So the way I'm set up now, I'm going to need to find a house to go just hide out in. It's my son in the background, Scooter Khan Jr. Yeah, so does you. Okay. Let me take this, put it in here.
Go on to the other one.
Go on other what?
The other base.
No, I'm done with that.
Is that one mine now?
Is it yours?
Yeah,
I don't think so. That's still
the
got
one
it.
you're done with, Dad?
Yes. Okay, and there we go. We got a cooking pot. That's basically the first thing I try to get accomplished. I'm going to cut this thing off, save the stuff in there, and I'm going to call this video a video. Hit the like button, leave some comments, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day. Right there is a snake. Good source of meat, but kind of tricky to get. I've found a lot of bad territory, and there is a bear right there in the crosshairs. I'm going to have to stand really wide of him because I don't stand a chance in heck against the bear. This little thing, see what we got here. Another wrench. I did find another city here. Looks like it's in the snow. Now what I can do here is I can kind of sit down and